Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports. Here myself Charlie. Before the video starts, please like, please comment and please subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. It was the international break during the last week. It was the last round of the World Cup qualifiers. There were some fantastic scenes. I've obviously already spoken about Scotland on the channel. It was great to see them getting back in the tournament. The Republic of Ireland, you can't fault the scenes there either. Troy Parrott taking his shirt off, going mental, the libs in the away end. Who can blame them? Haiti, are through. Cunacao as well, with Dick Advocat as manager. Who'd have known he was even still going, but who can blame him in a Caribbean paradise? As qualified, they have qualified for the World Cup. Suriname in a playoff. There's been some great stories, but another story that has been not so great is the story of Italian football and Italy, the national team in general. Now, anyone who's watched the channel for a while and anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Italian football. Been lucky enough to go to Italy to watch games. I think my dad probably lecturing me on the football in Italia years has helped. And there is a real sad decline, I think, with the national team. And they're spiralling. There's no other way about it. And the answers don't seem to be as obvious as what one might think. We saw them on Sunday night play Norway at the San Siro and lose 4-1. Now, listen, everyone knew they were never going to beat Norway 9-0. But I think it was the manner of the performance that a lot of people are critical of. This after a game against Moldova, away in Moldova, where they were fairly disappointed in that one as well, where you wouldn't have known that they were really even in the game at times, and then gradually got the 2 goals at the end. They grinded them out, but it was a poor showing, and they're sort of limping, I guess, to a World Cup. They found out they've got Northern Ireland in the playoffs. Listen, as a home nations fan, you'd want Northern Ireland to win. As a football fan, you'd probably like to see Italy at World Cup. Let's not forget they haven't been at the last 2, but it's something that I think is intriguing, because I think what's happening to Italian football is maybe what happened to German football about 5 or 6 years ago. When, you think we had the 2018 World Cup, they went out of the group stage. Germany, this is. 2020, they obviously lost to England in the round of 16, wasn't it? Went out of the group stage in 2022. I do think that this is what's happening to Italian football as well. I think Max Allegri spoke about it in a press conference in 2018, almost prophesied it. And there's been a few Italians who have come out and spoke about it as well. I think Italian football, having watched a fair bit of it in the last few years, has sort of lost its identity a little bit. Now, I grew up on the BBC, Bonucci, Barzagli, Chiellini, but it wasn't just them. Before that, I was lucky enough to catch the back end of Maldini at AC Milan. I was lucky enough to see other great defenders, the Inter Milan team of 2010. Was the football great to watch? No. When Inter Milan beat Barcelona in 2010, was I heartbroken because I was a Messi fan? Yes. But they did what Italian teams do. Now, I feel like with Italian football, they've lost their ID the same way that German football did for a bit. Now, I don't want to say he's the evil genius of football, Pep Guardiola, but I do think a lot of the ideas that maybe he's promoted have crept into Italian football. But it's been said before, not everyone can be Pep, and not everyone can play that style of play. And actually, we're seeing more and more managers in Serie A try and play that style of play, and it not necessarily work. You only have to look at Juventus in recent years to see what's happened there, where they've had a succession of managers. They've sort of tried to go away from what Allegri and Conte were doing. And then they found themselves back with Allegri anyway, because they needed something to do. They needed something to change, and they needed to go back to their roots. There's other examples as well of teams hiring coaches that maybe try and play a more progressive style of play and it not working. And obviously examples of this not necessarily the case. Anyone who's watched Gasperini's Atalanta will tell you that actually, no, it's really exciting to watch them. Obviously now he's at Roma. Sarri ball, when that first came around as well, that was fantastic to see. I do think, though, Italian football has lost its sort of what made it great. And was it great to watch? No, not at times. Was it effective? Very. And I think sort of the last stalwarts at that were Euro 2020 with Mancini in charge. And they still had the old guard at the back. They still had Chiellini and Bonucci. They still had those guys playing who just knew how to defend. Mourinho said it best, didn't he? They are the Harvard Law professors of defending. They were just... And I loved watching them because they loved defending. I wonder if Italian football is maybe moving away from that. There's a lot of talks, well, that their academies are not producing the creativity that they once produced. I saw something the other day that Roberto Baggio wrote a 900-word essay to the FICG, and it was just completely ignored. I think there's a lot going on in Italian football, a lot, and I think even if they get to the World Cup, it would just paper over the cracks because there are obvious cracks. I love Serie A as a league. I still do. I still think it's it's a competitive league as well. But the quality is gradually going down. And I wonder if they need to go back to what made them great before. I wonder if that's what they maybe need to do. And I thought Gattuso might do that, but Sunday night shows not the case. You know, people say the defenders can't defend. They've still got world-class players. They've still got Bastoni, who I think is one of the best defenders in the world. They've still got other players as well who are still class. Esposito looks like one for the future. But the future isn't there yet, and they need to sort it out because can you imagine another World Cup without them for a nation the size of them? That would be crazy. Saying that, they've still won more than England in recent times, so it is what it is. Anyways, guys, as always, I'll try and make videos that are just a bit different, but interesting. Let us know what you guys think. Please like, please comment, and please subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Have a great day.